gorgeous.
I stole a full bottle of the acetaminophen Oxycontin from my parents' room because my brother didn't want to take it when he was going through chemo. So I used to sell bottles of that. I remember one time my ex-boyfriend was throwing up and I had to hold his hair back from like
Hold his hair back.
the pills. They made him nauseous and they used to make me nauseous. My friend overdosed at my house in October on
Probably Lake Forest.
No, that doesn't happen.
Her mom came and we had to take her to the emergency room. I she took time, I took 7. And I passed out in my bed and everyone was screaming at me, asking me what she took. And I couldn't answer, I couldn't really talk.
Because I've done like everything except for crack and that's about it. I've done ketamine, heroin, meth. I fucking love meth. Meth is amazing. I'm drunk right now. Shit. I smoke weed every day.
I've done coke, I've done shrooms, I've done drugs, I've done weed. I've done bars on the grass, bars are easy to get away from. These problems I say we should get rid of them. Obviously, but just like once you start all up in the building, you probably don't want to bring up more and more. It's not too good. Other than that, something has to do.
No one wants to admit that they're an addict because they can come with legal issues and you can't tell your parents and eventually you can't tell your friends except the ones that you end up using them every day. And it's a very isolating disease. And Lake County's very isolating.
I don't think drugs are the problem specifically. I think it's people's ideas about it and how they want to get fucked up to not deal with their family or their friends or their boyfriend or girlfriend or school or whatever the hell problem they're dealing with. I think they just need an escape, and different people like different things. But it's just like going out and drinking once you're 21, you know, some people like vodka, some people like rum, some people like whiskey. You know, it's all a personal preference, and at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. You want to get fucked up because you got an issue somewhere in your life, or for a very minimal amount of people, you're just trying to have a good ass time. And I try to think that's what I'm about, but I really do think there's some underlying issues that I haven't figured out yet. But I know that I'm not all in all a drug addict, because I do drugs, but I can deal without it. Like, I don't need the shit. It's just something I do.
This is my homeless certification, and it's the pads of Lake County, and I stay there sometimes when I'm strung out.
The whole thing with drugs is it's all relationship. People don't realize this drugs, you make a relationship with that drug. That's why you love that drug. But that's why you don't do that drug to become addicted. Is because your relationships elsewhere fucking suck. There's certain things that no one should just ever do. For example, like heroin, crack, all that shit. I remember the first time I did these drugs, I just was like, oh, this is like normal. Like, I just thought this, like, I was at such a level of desperation in like, my life where it's just, it was normal to fucking. I remember the first time I smoked dope, I was in a library, and like this homie would just pick up. And yeah, I just sick of picking that shit out.
The suburbs is this weird cloak and dagger environment, and I'm talking a lot about the suburbs because like this is what I used. I was gay, and that was weird to everyone, but they weren't outwardly mean enough where it was like something you see on TV in the South or something. It was just like these weird unspoken bonds of what you can and can't do, of how you can and can't socialize, and they're passed down without anyone acknowledging them. And you know, you're living in neighborhoods where it's just cornfields all around you, and it's just soul draining. And if you're any bit different at all, or feel any sort of private pain that you feel like you can't communicate, drugs are so easy to fix that way. for a while, and for some people forever, for the rest of their lives, and we don't have these conversations. Anyway.
Problem is an understatement. I mean, I know people out here who are willing to trade $100 items for the smallest hit of coke, you know, like, there's a problem. It's an epidemic.
I was a heroin addict for about 2.5 years straight, and my mom did heroin for a long time.
I've been on and off with cocaine, crack, and heroin since I was 12 years old. I don't know. I just went to the joint for just controlled substance, so crack and heroin.
I would definitely say Lake County does have a drug problem. Everyone smokes, that's not a problem, but it's, you know, because they're selling a bunch of pills at school. I used to sell pills at school. They'll get prescriptions and they'll just sell them to their friends or like trade them.
That's why they give it to them. Well, they know they're going to become addicted to it and come right back for the shit and continue to come back for the shit until they weigh 98 pounds and can't stop smoking cigarettes and look like shit. Like, America, you are the problem with the drug epidemic. All of America.
There's not a lot of help anywhere you go. The help that is available costs a ton of money. Rehab's expensive, detoxes are expensive, insurance doesn't cover all this stuff. There's Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Heroin Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, any anonymous you can think of, and they work for some people, and they don't work for other people, and they have flaws.
I think I'm a drug addict sometimes because, like, right now, I just keep wanting to take more and more bars, getting more and more fucked up. But, like, when I'm sober, I don't, like, need drugs, so I don't consider myself a drug addict.
Decide how your story begins, not how the cartels ends. You're doing 30 minutes in Chicago, you run up there, you get a shit house for $100. That's $900 profit. You drive back, you can make like ridiculous amounts of money off of it that live in the suburbs.
Chicago.
Chicago,
They're coming from Chicago.
Drugs originally come from Texas, California, Florida, New York, and Chicago.
I love Lake County because I had gotten on the Gateway, Lakeville, Illinois Rehab Center, and it was suggested to me to move to the city, in a recovery house, which is a weird environment, but it worked for me. Using drugs was such an ingrained part of living in Lake County that moving somewhere might offer me kind of a clean slate to like work on myself.
It's getting better in some areas, worse in most. Like, especially the suburban areas. Like, consider those towns to be cursed for some odd reason when it comes down to like heavy drugs and shit. Like, you hear about the most overdoses and most deaths coming out of suburbs.
I would love to know what the precursor in Lake County was. I know in other parts of the country, heroin had always been here, but it got brought into new demographics because our country has an opiate problem. Because we're all prescribed that, which I can heard from the doctor. And all of a sudden, people like were predisposed to like enjoy these substances or to get hooked on them. And then heroin is a much cheaper alternative.
I feel like the vaccine, like 21 Savage, Chief Keef, all that shit, it glorifies drugs and violence. And then on and off on rich little white kids and kids in high school thinking that they're being sick. All these little white kids trying to be track stars and this stuff, and these all just become civil people.
You see people rapping about selling this and doing that and doing this, and you know, cars, money, bitches, and drugs all the time. They want to assume every person is all about every black person is all cars, money, bitches, and drugs. Which isn't true. I'm sorry.
Fuck over, nigga, that's your job, go ahead. Get the fuck out of my house right now. Fucking now. I'm a fucking piece of shit.
But this is exactly what Lake County is like. The overall question was, is there a problem in Lake County with drugs? Alcoholism is definitely a problem, and it's definitely a drug.
There is a problem in the county, okay? I'm an IGSD from 59th and Spalding.
Ideally, I would like the federal government of the United States of America to end the war on drugs officially and decriminalize all substances, because that's going to show the work in other parts of the world. I don't think it's going to help.
Stop sending addicts to jail. Send them straight to rehab. Like, don't just throw them in a slammer. Like, sit these people down who actually need help, you know? Even if they don't want the help, let them know that people care about them. Like, the best way to help somebody is to let them know about their faults. Like, that's the only way you can ever correct anything.
Portugal, they legalized all their drugs. They put the money that they were arresting people with towards rehabs and drug problems and drug issues. And the people that want help, want to get off drugs, they can go to rehab for free now. And they can get help. The people that want to continue to do drugs, get fucked up, they can do that without getting arrested and wasting money for no reason, because doing drugs is not bad. It's a person's choice.
And if you feel the urge to snort a line, hit the blunt. You got the urge to pop 10 Adderall and drink a bottle of liquor behind it, hit the blunt, you probably need help. Marijuana is the only way, the safest way you can possibly tame your mind and fix your mind and free it from anything.
All right. So, here's our ultra-mental status protocol. The big thing for you guys now is that we really need to start working on figuring out why is the person unconscious. Yes, we have certain protocols. I see a person who's unconscious, I need to do this as far as get a glucose. If I can figure out if they have pinpoint pupils, you know, give them Narcan, whatever, but respiratory, but why are they that way? That's the whole purpose. We've got to fix that. If it's an opiate, Narcan will work. If their pupils are dilated and what we have isn't going to work, making sure that they're not seizing. You know, if it's a glucose problem, giving them glucose. But remember, you guys, with the Narcan, we're really pushing this very strongly. Bless you. Narcan is only used to increase the respiratory rate. If someone is breathing fine, or, you know, I see these people that say, oh yeah, I overdosed on heroin, you know, and they're conscious, they're talking, maybe not in the best fashion, but they feel the need to give these people Narcan. There's no need, because their respiratory rate at this time is already fine. Continue to monitor them. Narcan's not going to do anything. So many people think Narcan is the benign drug. It's not. If it's pushed too fast, it can cause non-cardiogenic pulmonary edema in patients. So we need to be very cautious on how it's being used. This is our behavioral emergency protocol. Scene safety obviously is the biggest thing when we're dealing with behavioral patients. And then again, figure out what is the issue. Is this a psychotic patient who's having a psychotic issue? Or is this a patient who is has low glucose? We know that some of these endocrine metabolic problems can cause people to act in ways that they wouldn't normally act. People who are hypoxic, who've had some type of poisoning, maybe a seizure, they're post-seizure. Those patients need to be treated a little bit differently than our standard psych patients. If we have a patient that is anxious, anxiety, acting out, we do have the chemical restraints of somewhat. We've got Versed 2 milligrams. We start off giving that IN, because the last thing we want you guys doing is going after these people with a needle if they're acting out. Once we go ahead and we get them to calm down a little bit, if we need further, you can start the IV or you can go ahead and give it IM too. So you'll have that opportunity. Don't be afraid to use it. I see a lot of people that don't necessarily like to go ahead and use it. With the mucosal, the MAD device, remember, if the dose exceeds 1 ml, or 0.5 in each nair, okay, you shouldn't be using much more than 0.5 in each nair. It's just too much fluid for the mucosal membranes to go ahead and absorb. Anybody have any questions about the MAD device? Remember, the medications that we can give are glucagon, Narcan, fentanyl, and Versed. Our dose of fentanyl, 2 milligrams, but again, remember, a lot of these medications that are, these drugs that are out there nowadays, 2 milligrams isn't going to be enough. Pediatric dose, 0.1 milligrams per kilo. All right, anybody have any questions? All right. Make it easier. If you want to, whoever wants to stop this, they can.
Chris, don't try.
Just hold it down.